Hello, I'm Charlotte, and I'm delighted to be talking to Peter, the Sustainable Packaging Specialist within the Prof Consulting Group. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining me today.
It's good to join you, Charlotte.
We'll dive straight in. Why do you do your specialist work?
Well, basically, I've had a long time in the packaging arena, sort of about 40 years, and it's just want to utilise my experience and my know-how, and just try and ensure that moving forward that we end up with long-term sustainable packaging solutions.
Yeah. And who's driving business sustainability in your location and within your specialist area?
Well, as far as the packaging suppliers go, they're all pretty good, and they're all very much on board with the sustainable packaging options and so forth. And there's been some shifts, and there'll be more shifts to come. But yeah, the major packaging suppliers are all on board, and it's it's good globally actually, and it's quite good, yeah.
What are the opportunities and challenges within the marketplace, do you think?
Well, there's opportunity to continue to develop better packaging solutions, and just one of the byproducts of that is it keeps food waste to a minimum. But there's challenges in doing this in a way that supports the circular economy, because we want to use the packaging as a resource, and keep it within the circular economy, and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it, and so it's not a waste. It's not a wasted product.
And what are your clients asking for in terms of sustainability?
Well, firstly, they're asking and they want to comply with the regulatory and statutory regulations. And secondly, they're also wanting to fit in within the circular economy. So it's a sort of two different things.
And do you think people really understand ESG, in particular your specialism?
In my opinion, I don't believe that people really understand the whole sustainability picture. People tend to relate only to what they understand and not consider everything needed to make the packaging completely sustainable.
And in terms of consumers or shoppers, how is the need for sustainability influencing their habits?
Well, the consumers are now becoming a lot more savvy, and they're demanding more sustainable options. And they're seeking out sustainable products, and in some cases, they're prepared to pay a cost premium to get the sustainable options.
And could you give some examples of brands that are creating value from embracing sustainability?
It's more so like one of the sectors that have embraced the whole sustainable packaging arena is the grocery sector. And they've all set some pretty hard targets around sustainable packaging, and this has forced the packaging suppliers to join the journey, and has put a heavier R&D focus on the circular economy. There's still a long way to go, but it's focusing in the right direction, and we need to get there.
And how is food production then changing with the focus on sustainability? Sorry.
Well, the food producers are having to change the mindset on how they extend the shelf life of their products through sustainable packaging solutions.
Yeah. And where do you see technology such as digitalization impacting on ESG activities?
Um, More so with the marking and the identification of the different packagings, going through the sorting and recovery process, which which would which is pretty good at the moment, but there's more that can be done there to make it better and collect more.
And how should companies start their plan for sustainability, in particular within your specialism?
Well, first and foremost, they need to look at and understand the big picture of the circular economy of packaging, and how the different parts need to work together to make it truly circular and sustainable. Um, in theory, my package is recyclable does not mean that the package is actually sustainable or actually being recycled in their jurisdiction. So we need to make sure that that they are in fact sustainable and being recycled.
And I suppose, because I don't know a lot about it myself, for people who I guess would want to know more, in simple terms, how would you define the circular economy?
Basically, it comes down to that there's nothing is waste, and with our packaging, that means that we design our packaging, we manufacture our packaging, and then we use our packaging, and then we recover it, and then we basically once it's recovered, we turn it back into a product which can again be used to make more packaging, and it needs to happen.
And what pitfalls should people and companies be aware of?
Oh, the list is long. I I would recommend consulting a professional here because the old saying is people don't know what people don't know,
Yeah.
um, and so they need to look at it as an investment, and the reason being is because getting it wrong is just not an option.
And looking to the future, what do brands need to know about the ESG landscape and how can they prepare for it?
The brands need to understand the big picture um, to to make a fully circular economy in the packaging arena. Um, Part of this is ensuring that their packaging solutions are captured in the circular economy.
And what are some interesting and exciting developments in your field of expertise, and what does it mean for regular people?
Well, there's a lot of sustainable packaging guidelines and directives are emerging right around the globe. Just for example, here in Australia, APCO, which is the Australian Packaging Covenant Organisation, they've released a range of sustainable packaging guidelines, and these guidelines have given a clearer picture of the future directions which we'll take. And then there's also been some major developments in the recycling technology. And this is a really exciting space with major developments in both mechanical recycling and chemical polymer recycling technologies. Because the current recycling technologies limit the use of the recycled materials in food contact applications and thus reduce their value once they have been recovered and reprocessed, sort of things. So they're they become downgraded, where what we need to do is get some recycling technologies which we can recycle the plastic and so forth back into product which is as good and as it was to start with and suitable for food contact, and that will open up a whole new market for those particular recycled polymers as well, because there's a massive demand for them, but there's just not the availability.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Peter. That is all my questions. And that was really interesting because I didn't know very much about it. But hearing you speak about it, I definitely learned a lot. And for anybody watching, if you'd like to find out more, head to www.profcg.com.